to Dan, because Dan's only with us for another 10 minutes or so. The number you need to use is 07796 141451. 07796 141451. Let me get this right. Wendy's in Clevedon. Hello, Wendy.
Hello.
Hello. I need to have a date of birth from you, and then you're through to Dan with your question.
10th of the 4th, 57.
Right.
It's just a general reading, please.
Yes. Okay, Wendy. Well, this has been a bit of a tough year. There seems to be been a lot of a restrictive year, I think, is a more accurate phrase.
Yeah.
You've got problems around you that need to be sorted out, but they are being sorted out, and you can make progress as far as that is concerned. Your birthday is indicative of what is known as the Wheel of Fortune. So things tend to change for you, and it's always moving on, which is positive. Hence, I'm pleased to be able to say that you're coming to the end of this phase that's being restrictive. Over the next 3 or 4 months, all these problems that you've had will be solved, or you'll start to move away from them one way or another, which will allow you much more freedom next year and a much more interesting time. So I think it's onwards and upwards.
Good.
Yeah, it's quite positive.
I've had a difficult year because my mum's been very ill.
Yes. Well,
So,
I think it's not just that. I mean, it's the finances. There look to be pressure on the finances and a few other difficulties as well relating to the home and the family and the housing situation, that kind of stuff. So all of this is going to be sorted out in the next few months, and it is getting easier. So you can breathe out a little from now on.
Thanks very much indeed. Thank you, Wendy. Emma joins the programme. Emma's in Cranbrook, which is in Kent. Hello, Emma.
Hi there.
Hello. Could you give me a date of birth and a question for Dan, please?
Yep, it's 5th of the 11th, 67.
Okay.
And basically my home life has changed recently, and because of this I need to change my work life. So I want to know if that's going to happen and if it will help me out financially as well.
Yes. All of this stuff has come to a head recently, hasn't it, Emma?
Yes.
Yes. And it's been sorted out, or is in the process of being sorted out.
Yes.
Yes. So, I'm just seeing exactly where you are with this. Oh yes, no, I think that's all right. Now, 2 things, Emma. As far as the home life is concerned, the problems relating to the home life are going to be solved over the next 3 or 4 months. That I'm not concerned about. You can find solutions here. If you're thinking about making a change in terms of the career or the work, you need to do something about this quickly.
Right.
And the reason why I say that is that between now and Christmas, you've got protection. If you don't get something sorted out on that level between now and Christmas, I think you're going to find it very difficult next year, and that we don't want.
No.
So, in other words, for you, the most important thing is to find yourself something as far as that is concerned. Now, one thing I'm going to say to you about this is look to the long term as far as that's concerned. There may be something that doesn't terribly excite you, but you can look at it and see the potential of it in 3 or 4 years' time.
Right.
That kind of thing is good for you at this stage. You need to be dealing with the public, and most importantly of all, Emma, don't do 9 to 5, it'll kill you, girl.
Yeah, I know, I don't want to do 9 to 5.
No, you've got to find something that's going to be different, where the hours are different, and you come into contact with people. Don't do 9 to 5, Emma, you won't like it. No, so push on with that this year. Next year is a year when you are going to find yourself alone in some way, or feel on your own. Don't let it faze you. It'll give you a chance to grow inwardly and also understand yourself better. And then things will pick up again after that. But as I said, try and get something sorted out in the next couple of months, because that will give you the base to move onwards in the future.
Wonderful.
Thanks very much, and good luck to you, Emma.
Thank you.
You're most welcome. Daniel Strapper's with us. We're going to be talking to Emma in just a moment, and let me give you this number if you wanted to speak to Dan, because there's so many people lined up and waiting to speak to you, Dan, and unless we're here for the next 7 days, it's not going to happen.
I don't think I could quite do 7 days, Mike.
Yeah, I don't think we could. We haven't got our protective trousers on.
No, indeed.
The number to speak to Dan in his office number is 077 96 141451. 077 96 141451. And I'll do that again next time, because I promise I've been rehearsing quietly to myself. Samantha, Daniel's here.
Hi there.
Hi. So we need a date of birth from you, Samantha.
Date of birth is 28th of the 1266.
Sorry, can you say that again?
28th of the 12th.
28?
Yes, 28.
12?
66.
66.
Yeah. I just really want to know whether there's going to be any positive changes in my life. This year's just been an uphill struggle. I decided about a year ago what I wanted to do, but everything I've tried to put in place, it just hasn't happened for me. And I just seem to be digging a little bit of hole the longer this actually delays.
Yes, well, it's a bit complicated, isn't it?
Yes.
I really think... let me just think about this. 1066, 12, 22, 4, 7, 8... yeah, well, I really think you're somebody that should be working for yourself.
Yes.
Does that make sense?
Yes, it does. Just what to do, that's the problem.
Well, as they say in all the best sitcoms, the world's your oyster.
Yeah.
I don't see any blocks on that. What I'm concerned about is trying to find a suitable time, and this is where the difficulty is.
Yes.
In terms of where you are at the moment. I suppose you could do something next year, but you see, what I'm struggling with here, Samantha, is this around you is this emphasis of working with details, and in order to get something sorted out. So there's some complication around you that isn't clear at the moment.
Uh-huh.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, I just I take on a lot, and in the last sort of say 10 years, I've built up property, and I don't have the time to do anything, so I've been trying to get rid of things and get out of a relationship, but that's what I've been trying to do for the last year, and, every property offer I've had has fallen through. There's one that's pending at the moment, and I just don't seem to be able to get anything cleared off my plate so that I then have got the time to look forward. And
well, I think that the only thing I could say as far as that is concerned is you've just got to keep pushing forward with this.
Yeah.
And you will get there eventually. The only thing unfortunately, I don't have the time to look at this properly because there's so many other people waiting to talk to me, to say what would be the time that this is going to move. All I can say to you is that it will break, and that you, in the long term, you've got to be looking to work for yourself, because when you get all these problems, these temporary problems sorted out, and you start working for yourself properly, you can make an awful lot of money. I mean, big money. Big money. So that's what you should be aiming for.
Yes.
And that's where all your thoughts should be directed, because that is the key for you.
Thank you.
Thanks very much, Samantha. Good luck to you. Do you know, I think it's going to be Lynn, and that is going to be it, Dan, because we're going to run out of time otherwise. So, Lynn. Hello, Lynn. Let me just try again. Come on, Michael, you can do this. Hello, Lynn. Got you.
Good morning.
Yeah, we're all engaged. Listen, we've got down for about another 3 or 4 minutes.
Oh, good.
So I need your date of birth.
Right, 13/01/51.
Okay, 13/1/1951.
That's it.
Okay.
Right. So, Lynn, it's been tough. It's been tough in the last few months.
It has.
It has. Oh dear. So you've got to... I think, though, you're nearly on top of it, Lynn.
Oh, brilliant.
Nearly. There's just 1 or 2 minor things. It's not quite as bad as it looks, Lynn.
Okay.
I mean, you're probably feeling, oh, my God, this is never going to end. I'm never going to be able to shift it. But we're nearly there.
Good.
So keep working your way through it. Keep on top of it. Keep pushing forward. Once we get into mid-October, you'll be starting to move forward again, which is very pleasing. I do like that. And I think then we're talking about some emphasis of changes relating to work situations in some way.
Well, I'm not working.
So the opportunity will present itself.
Okay.
If that's what you want, and I'm sure that it will prove to be quite fun as well.
Oh, brilliant.
So you're coming into a much better phase. In fact, I mean, we've talked about this year being tough. The last few years have been very up and down for you.
It has.
But as I said, thank goodness it's coming to an end. You're about to become a new Lynn and take off.
Oh, brilliant.
And life will be much more interesting and much easier for you in that sense, because you've got freedom, and you can't have freedom unless it's easier. I like it, Lynn. Go for it, go.
Good luck, Lynn. We've got about a minute and a half, Dan. Could you speak very quickly to James in Plymouth?
Why not?
Okay, James, can you give us a date of birth and a question, please? James, can you give us a date of birth and a question, please?
Yeah, it's 31st of the 3rd, 86. And my question is, basically, family's been going through some hard times recently, and just wondering what the future, near future, holds with regard to business and money.
Well, I'm not too concerned about the money at the moment, James. I think the interesting thing at the moment is all this family stuff.
Right.
It seems to be that there's an opportunity to sort a lot of this thing out now.
Right.
I mean, when I say now, I mean at the moment, this month.
Yeah.
And this seems to be quite critical. And I think come the end of the year, come December, I think things will be more settled. So I'm quite interested. I think that's quite positive in many ways. But I also think that there's some emphasis on changes around you. Has there been somebody new come into your life?
No.
Well, that opportunity.
Actually, quite the opposite.
I'm sorry?
Quite the opposite, actually. Father's passed away quite recently.
No, I was talking more in terms of your emotional life, your love life.
Not at all.
No,
not at all.
Well, there's something around you as far as that's concerned, which is quite interesting. I think, as I said, to come back again to what we were talking about before, these situations are going to be sorted out, but it's going to take obviously it's going to take a few months. There is going to be a reaction to all this, James. Unfortunately, there tends to be. But once you get through that reaction, I think that you'll find that things will move on for you. It looks quite, in many ways, I think it looks quite positive. I quite like that there's some very strong aspects as far as business is concerned for you in the future. I see no reason why you can't be very successful. So, once you get over this current hump, it looks quite interesting. And as I said, there's opportunity for business success in your life. So that'll be good. That'll be interesting for you.
Thanks very much, and good luck, James. Daniel, thank you. Thank you very much, and on behalf of all those you've spoken to, and boo-hoo for all the people that you missed.
Yeah, I'm sorry we couldn't have done more. We've done 25, Mike, but I'm sorry we couldn't have done more.
Well, when you start counting the other ones, actually, I think you'll find it's nearer 30.
Gosh.
Yeah. Brilliant. So to get hold of Dan, if you want to book a private reading or get some information that you could apply to your life, the number is 07796 141451. 07796 141451. Thanks once again, Dan.
Mike, it's been great working with you. I shall keep the numbers in rehearsal just in case we get a chance to do it again.
Okay, thanks very much indeed. Thank you.
All the best, mate.
God bless you. Thank you. Okay. talkSPORT, and I think after the news we could apply ourselves to a couple of thoughts. What plans do you have to improve the week for you? 08704 20 20 20. Claire Short MP is alleged to be planning a career in the media, just like Michael Portillo, so let's hope she can keep a secret. Do you think she'll find a future in her career move? 08704 20 20 20. John Reed is using old army barracks to use as prisons. When he says he doesn't believe in early release for prisoners, he means it. Do you agree? The Sun claims to have come up with this idea a little while ago. Could that be true? But what about this idea of using old army barracks to put prisoners in? So when he says, or not him as such, but the justice system says, 5 years, it's nearer 5 years than what one might assume to be the current state of play, 18 months or 12 months at the moment. 08704 20 20 20. At the root of my telling you all that comes really the question, will prison become more of a deterrent? 08704 20 20 20. Phone books that became available 125 years ago are coming back online today. Way back, you didn't need the number. There were so few people, you just picked up the phone and asked for the name of the person you wanted to speak to. If that system were around now, who would you most want to call? Who would you most want to call if you could just pick the phone up and say, hello, could I speak to... That's going to be a bit creative. 08704 20 20 20. I'm Mike Allen. This is talkSPORT. Good morning, this is talkSPORT, I'm Mike Allen. We're talking about Claire Short, alleged to be planning a career in the media, just like Michael Portillo. Let's hope she can keep a secret. Do you think she'll find a future in her career move? Yeah, 08704 20 20 20. And John Reed is using old army barracks as prisons. When he says he doesn't believe in early release for prisoners, he means it. You agree. The Sun claims to have come up with this idea a short while back. My question to you is, do you feel more comfortable knowing that prison means prison? 08704 20 20 20. And women are joining the AA. They are. They're supplying roadside assistance. There's about 1,000 been signed up. If you're a woman, could you, with training, do that job? 08704 20 20 20. I think that's very interesting. Women doing that. Pauline. Hello, Pauline.
Oh, hello there.
Hello, Sailor.
Before I talk about this sport and about the Aussies seem to do better than us, I'd like to say a greeting to you. It's your last night, isn't it, for a while?
Yes.
Well, I penned something. As your initials are MA, well, I like to say that's Master of Arts. Oh, my mama will have to sing that. To me, you are so wonderful, for you have graced the airways for the past week or so. I don't want to let you go. May the gap be less till you return, as I, for one, would like to know when. I guess it's up to management, so please take note, for Mike's such a terrific bloke.
That's me blushing.
Well, if you put the rouge on the nose, we'll have you for Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer, and you can come round with Santa any time.
With a sack full of smiles.
No, a nice lot of prezzies for me.
All right.
That's what I would like. Now, I'd like to say, as you were mentioning, regarding the Australians being a lot better at sport than us.
Yes.
Well, I think it's partly down to the climate, because they have all-weather arenas and places where they can train, plus a lot more money's put into these sports academies. Because I'm very interested in sport, especially athletics and all the Olympic pursuits they do, and rowing and things like that. And Chris Akabusi was only saying a few weeks ago, he was a former runner, and he said about the people nowadays, they don't seem to put the effort in, and the willpower like we had in the golden 80s and 90s of Seb Coe, Steve O'Bear, Steve Cram and all of them. And there seems to be a big gap before this, especially in athletes. There's a big gap now where they've retired and there hasn't been filled. And these lot are youngsters coming up instead of carrying on like they did for years. And I mean, the sports like tennis, cricket, golf, show jumping, they're all like elitists where they seem to come from families with money. Where football is, anybody sort of kicks a ball about a street and things. But I think they're more elitist. And the money it costs to do it, and you don't usually seem to have the normal person.
So when it comes to Australia, you're of the view that because of the climate and the weather, which are one and the same, but not quite, we're in a situation where the Aussies have probably got more opportunity.
Oh yeah, they've got a lot. They can do all year things and running. Our athletes often have to travel to various places, venues out of the country for training, and that is partly due to the climate and things. And since they've had lottery funding, there has been some improvement. As I told you, I'm very interested in sports and things, and I think a lot of it's to do with it.
Very nice to talk to you, Pauline. If you'd like to be part of the programme like Pauline, it's 08704 20 20 20, or you can text me on 81089. It's your usual text charges plus 50p. Or you can send me an email, talksport.net. Thanks once again, Pauline. Thank you very much. Women are joining the AA, supplying roadside assistance. If you're a woman, could you, with training, do this job? Or do you think it's too heavy duty? 08704 20 20 20. One of the other things that we were talking about was this delightful story that 125 years ago, the phone book didn't have numbers in it, it just had people's names, and you phoned up and said, could I speak to, and you could probably get the Prime Minister or something, you know, it just would ring. So, given the opportunity, who would you call having access to a phone book that you just had to say, could I speak to, and you'd be put through? It's intriguing, isn't it? Claire's in Manchester. Hello, Claire.
Hello.
Hello.
Who am I speaking to now? I'm not sure. Is that Oscar Wilde or is that Mike?
You wanted Oscar Wilde, did you?
Well, you asked about old phone books, and I reckoned, my maths isn't very good, I reckoned that 120 years ago he was alive.
I reckon you're probably right.
Scott was before Alexander Graham Bell, who was Scottish.
Yes, so...
Because we know about the Covenanters, and the reason... Well, it was a bit fucked up. Well, I will go into that because I'm thinking of co-writing a play with a good friend of mine who's been in a few loony bins. Well, that's another story, but you may or may not know about that, and you may or may not be interested. You can officially say I'm mad, because that's the diagnosis. I don't think I am, but that's another story. Anyway, I'll calm down now, and I'm just finding my something out. What am I meant to be saying? Am I online? Am I live? Or am I just talking to myself or to you? Who is my audience?
Who is your audience?
Yeah, is it just you?
The UK, I suppose?
The whole UK or just yourself?
Well, I think there might be one or two that have got to sleep, but... Yeah,
well, I think I woke up quite a few neighbours, but my neighbours have been amazing, and I'd like to thank them if they haven't already jumped out of a window trying to escape their 17th interview with a psychiatrist, trying to tell them about his potty training problems. I think I might feel like that too, but I've been a bit luckier, fortunately.
Oh, good. Sounds like it's not been boring where you are.
No, it certainly hasn't been boring. I think I would really like to thank all my neighbours in Bradshaw Avenue in Withington, Manchester, although I have friends and neighbours across the world. I could go on to it at length. I don't know how many calls you've got lined up. I've made notes. I could give you my email address. I'm not sure whether I might always...
I don't think really, Claire, you want to put yourself in a state where you're sort of burdened by people sending you an email sort of super late in the middle of the night. But anyway, I do wish you well. It's been an education. Stuart's in Coatbridge. Hello, Stuart.
Good morning, Mike.
Hi.
I'm a first-time caller your phone, but I've already actually listened to you for a while. I would like to I hope the nation listen about Tony Blair. I think it's absolutely terrible what they're doing to that man for all the years he's been in politics and everything that he's done. I would like to think this man, Gordon Brown, thinks he's missed a bit because he's been in so much in politics. But I guarantee you, Mike, I don't know if you agree with me, but if that man gets in before the year, but even up to date, before the year 2008, I think Britain will be in the Euro. That man is not dedicated to Britain. I think Tony Blair, if you've seen the interview with him today, that man nearly broke down. That man was really good to Britain. That man can't help what goes on in the world. I mean, look at the things going on in the world. I don't think Gordon Brown will last even 2 years.
That's very interesting you say that, because I was talking to a friend of mine the day before yesterday, and he said to me, I don't know if you've heard, but there's a rumour going round that support for Tony Blair within the House is increasing. And I happened to mention it in passing yesterday, and nobody picked up on it. But now you're saying to me, you think, from your perspective, Tony Blair, staying with Tony Blair, will be a better bet. Is that right?
Well, Mike, I'd like to put this question right. If you would have to choose between Gordon Brown and Tony Blair, Gordon Brown wouldn't be my nation, because Gordon Brown is a chancellor of its Scotland. He deals with all the country. There's no way he's going to last, because the first thing he'll go for is a Euro for jobs. And what do you think, Mike?
Well, listening to that numerologist we had on just now, it sounds like it's going to be a financial stretch for some of us in the UK, so that would suggest that financial issues will be to the forefront in the next couple of years. So you could well be right with a vengeance, Stuart. Could well be right. What do your friends say?
Well, a lot of my friends back where I live in Coatbridge, right, they tend to agree with Gordon, tend to agree that Gordon Brown is a definitely certainty to get into the Euro. I mean, that man is definitely right. I mean, Tony Blair has been the man for Britain. They can't help but go on the road within Iraq and all that, and the thing is it's going around. I mean, that man has brought Britain back from the Conservatives. I mean, can you imagine what it's going to be like if the Conservatives are back in? I'll go for worse to worse.
Well, if they get back in, you know, that's always that, Stuart. I mean, you could be wrong.
Aye. Well, all I can say is, Mike, I hope Gordon Brown does again, because that man was going to get a Euro and he will absolutely waste the country. I think it's terrible what they've done to Tony Blair. That man nearly broke down on television. They absolutely ridiculed him and they want him out.
We shall see. Thank you very much, Stuart. Thank you. You're listening to talkSPORT, 1053, 1089, and you can call 08704 20 20 20. Women are joining the AA, supplying roadside assistance. They've just signed up 1,000 women to do just that. If you're a woman, could you, with training, do this job? I mean, the answer, I suggest, is probably yes, but would you do it? 08704 20 20 20. Let's get Stuart in. We've got a lot of Stuarts tonight. Stuart in Stanmore. Hello, Stuart.
The original, which is why this is the original, the official Stuart Stanmore radio station.
Except no substitute.
That's true. Which, unfortunately, sometimes on a Saturday night we have to accept substitutes. Because nobody else can do a midnight quiz like you. Who would I like to ring up?
It's absolutely ages since I've done a midnight quiz. I had to laugh because it just brought back so many memories, you know. And one has to be a little bit strict, you know.
Is that why you never let me win? You always used to choose the last questions for me.
I couldn't possibly comment. Tell me, from your perspective, because you use transportation, don't you? You drive?
I've used transportation.
So would it, if your car broke down, Stuart, and you couldn't fix it, and you called the support services like the AA, and they send a woman round to do it, would you be embarrassed, or would you say, welcome, and it's in there somewhere?
This is the 21st century. If you can have a woman Prime Minister, who was the best Prime Minister this country's ever had and never will have, I'm sure the AA would know what they're doing. If somebody can pass the mechanics qualifications and whether else meet the AA's entry standards, then I'm sure they can do the job. But if it meant lowering the standards for mechanics to allow women, just because there was some law said you had to employ a quota of women, then that would be different.
Yeah, I was just thinking some men might feel a bit vulnerable. As you said, it's the 21st century, but some men might feel a bit vulnerable. They might feel that their masculinity has been questioned because there's a woman come round to do a job that they should probably be able to do themselves.
Well, maybe it's going to be part of markets employed to get more women members by the AA. They get advertising a special service. Women mechanics.
Interesting. That's interesting.
Because me being a cynical type of person, as you know, I'm sure that possibility might have crossed their minds. If they have women, they can advertise the special services, maybe charge a bit extra. If a woman driver wants a woman mechanic.
Yeah, I'm sure that's something which could easily fall in the mix. But I'm just wondering if
But whether a lot of men would accept it and be happy having a woman come to fix their car, when traditionally it's a type of, shall we say, it's a male type of thing, isn't it, to fix a car?
Yeah, I could just imagine some men feeling a bit challenged if a woman comes round and says, "Oh, what's wrong? It won't start." So you open the bonnet, just doesn't appear. She's got a torch out, and she goes, "Okay, try it now." Boom. He's going to feel like a raw prawn, as the Australians would say.
Because after all, some people even whether there's any difference between a woman mechanic and a female radio producer.
Yeah, one drives.
one drives the desk.
Yes, that's true.
And Chris, and you were talking about who would I like to ring up?
Yeah, they're just sort of people just put the radio on thinking, what is that? What's that? 125 years ago, phone books became available in the UK, and they're being reproduced. They're on screen now. But if you just open them up, you could just see the names, like, I don't know, Winston Churchill and things like that, you know, and just say, Winston Churchill, please, and they would probably connect you. But you didn't have to know the number, and there obviously weren't that many people who had telephones.
And there's no such thing as X directory?